Good morning. Cheers to all of you. How is everybody doing? So, I see a few people's on, so that's cool. So, good morning. Welcome to Mid Morning Medium Chat with Adam the Black Swamp Medium. Thank you for being here as always. Good morning, Carrie. So, I guess Carrie's going to start it off. So, a couple things. Basically, the hey Jennifer. The well, for one, I do not have a hangover. I haven't had alcohol in almost a week, so I'm not hungover, and I'm not trying to be cool either. Uh, Typically, what you guys are used to is always me creating things that are, symbols and whatnot, and this is just one of those. So, hey, Rachel, good morning. And it's one of those moments, and it ties into my main topic for today. Uh, and so, yeah, I'll explain that. But the the whole idea of the um, sunglasses was something I was going to be doing a couple days ago. And if you guys saw my post, which hopefully you did, if you didn't, you can always go back. And even then, if you read it back after watching this, then it'll even make more sense because you knew the answers before. But uh, and I'm going to talk about things. So I'm going to start something and then I'm going to jump out of it real quickly and then we'll come back to it. But the um, originally wasn't going to be live today. I didn't think I was ready to come back live and because things were going on, and so I didn't feel like I could be live. I didn't feel like I could be in front of everybody today, and so my idea was to record the show while wearing these sunglasses, these specific sunglasses for multiple reasons. One, partly as a joke, but two, there's a few of you that when you do watch the show are able to read uh, eyes, and not so much that you would pick up on, hey, Joe, good morning, that they can read deeply into by looking at somebody's eyes and get all the information. And I didn't want that to happen in any way. I didn't want people reading into what was going on. Hey, Tanya. Yes, Joe, I am. um, and so that was the idea behind it, was to record the show, wear these so that way the few people that read eyes wouldn't be able to see. And the funny side to this is, and these shades in particular, if everybody remembers in the mid 90s or just a little bit, heading towards the end of the 90s, there was a particular movie that these sunglasses were highlighted in. Hey, Jen. And that was Men in Black. And these just happened to be the shades that if, whenever they used the neuralizer, to, change your memory or take you back a little bit prior to the experiences of aliens and whatnot, then that was the whole point, was that I was going to block out anybody reading my eyes, so that way I didn't get messages about it, later on and telling me all this and that. So that was the idea, was to truly block out, from multiple standpoints. So I thought that was kind of funny, uh, which was cool. Yeah, that's right, Jen. The flashy thing. Hey, Kay, did you hit me with the flashy thing? I'm not playing with you. But so I thought it was kind of funny. Right, it could happen, Tim. You never know. But yeah, so that was the whole thing. Is I literally put these, was going to wear these for a whole show, recorded, and then to block certain people from reading into what was going on with me, because obviously if you did read the post, you understand that it wasn't so much of a break, which everybody thought was going on. It really wasn't. Uh, I kind of ran away for a moment because I needed some alone time in a way, and not that it was 100% alone time, but I'll dive into what I can about it. But anyway, uh, so anyway, it's I am glad to be back again, even if most people thought it was just kind of a break and just whatever, when it really was a major struggle. Again, it kind of goes with the topic of today's show in a way. And I haven't felt that way in a long time. I mean, you guys have seen a lot of rough moments, this year, but there's been quite a few this year. But last year was really tough with when I was getting upgraded, you know, and that was rough as it was, and so it was weird to be down, but still, functional in some aspect. But at least this one brought me back many years ago to a time I didn't really enjoy, but most and still a lot of people don't know about. But so that was kind of one of these things. It was several days of trying to figure things out. And I've always talked about how, you gotta, you take your one day and then you get back up and move it. And for me, it just wasn't going public about things. I use the time to really go through things and um, dissect stuff and then figure out the answers to some aspects of things going on. And it's helpful. So even then, it's not like I truly crawled under a rock and that's all I did. Even though it kind of felt like it at times, because every day got a little bit worse until finally I just said maybe I should just come back and see if hanging out with all of you and starting to post again would, cheer me up in a way and just get me, moving, which, I still have to make the progress on my own anyway. But at the same time, I don't always try to throw everything out there, and it's not always about me in a way. So that was probably not, maybe not that kind of dissection, Dad, but in a way, uh, at least mentally dissecting things. But and that's not dissecting the brain; that's just diving deeper. But yeah, so it was crazy. But anyway, before we go into a lot of other things, I do want to highlight a couple things that are coming up because they are pretty important. And I will take the shades off here in a minute, so you guys can truly see my eyes and know that I'm not really hungover, and I look somewhat sane to you all. But and some more coffee for y'all. But so a couple things that are coming up. One in particular, and let me pull that up real quickly because I'd like you guys to see it just in case you guys feel like making the trip out. So let me do this. I'm going to be doing a couple different weird things here. This and that. Cool. All right. So coming up on July 9th. So I'm going to move that a little bit. On July 9th, I'm going to be doing a Holistic Mystic Fair, and that's up you can see there in Standish, Michigan at the Wild Wind Sanctuary. And goes from 11 to 6, if you guys can't see that already. But it's my first time going to be there. It's mostly, pretty much an all outdoor event. And Carrie, who I'm assuming is still in there she is one of the key people involved in it, and getting everything going. So yeah, I'm going to be hanging out there for the day. So if you guys are in and around the area or feel like making a trip, there you could see that. I mean, so many tons of things going on, and I'm looking forward to it to myself. Because if I scroll down just a hair, we'll see it running here. As it move, well, see, there you go. You might see me, doing a few things. So there I am. Oh my gosh. Hello. So there's obviously a couple things going on, and I'm going to be doing sort of a twofer thing. So I'm just going to back up so you guys can see the top of the flyer. But I'm going to be doing my main thing on stage is going to be doing a flute performance. And then at my table, I'm going to kind of switch over, change hats, and do some mediumship and stuff, and do readings for anybody that's there and would like to see that. So I'm pretty excited about doing that. I haven't really ever done that before, where I've done both passions in the same event. Usually I just focus on one because it's just easier to do that. But there's so many cool things about this, and I know Carrie is writing over here. Yeah, and like I said, Carrie knows this place really well because she's one of the like I said, one of the main people helping out, and so, um, I love I was already looking at the map and stuff like that that Carrie sent me of just where everything is and situated and where a lot of the vendors are gonna be, so, you know, I think it's pretty cool to have, a big time outdoor fair like this and to be able to kind of hang out. I think it's going to be a good time, obviously. And this is the second one of the year because they only do this during the warmer months. So, but even if you can't make this one, again, they do it on, as you can see there, every second Saturday, like again through the warmer months. So, even if you can't make this one and you would like to go to other ones, certainly, go out there and have some fun. So, that'll be awesome. So hopefully you guys will, you know, get on with that, and maybe I'll see you guys next weekend. That would be super super cool. Oh, the other thing I wanted to do real quickly, because again, I'm just trying to. Hey, Christine, happy birthday, Christine. So Christine's birthday's today. So everybody in the chat say hi to Chris. Um, One thing I wanted to do. Oh, not that one. Whoa, how did it do that? There we go. Um, Another thing I wanted to throw up there, and even though it's really far down the line, but not that far, it's only in November. I got a plug because it's one of my babies as far as events for the year. So I got to throw this up. So the Old Mill Pear Fest on November 12th at our in Dundee, Michigan. One of the cool things about our event, we always get a lot of great vendors coming out and a lot of awesome, a lot of you are hanging out and having a good time. Hey, Donna. And so I'm always excited to, in fact, this is year 9. So, I mean, if that doesn't tell you how much, we are involved in how much we love this place and how much we want to continue to highlight it. So it's really cool that we're going to have year 9. I'm not going to get into all the different people that are going to be there speaking. However, I will uh, come to find out that I was people were because typically I do the MC work, and let me do this. And oh, nope, I didn't want to do that either. I have to do this to do that. See? There we go. I wanted to I normally do the MC work, so you guys are used to that, and I've been doing that since technically I was doing it co-hosting or co-MCing it year 2, and then starting year 3 till this year I've been doing the MC work. So one cool thing is I that's cool, Joe. Hey man, we'd love to see you come back, buddy, and hang out. Typically, again, I'm part of the Swippy team, and so we have we're always running around and doing things. Again, I kind of I'm used to being up in front of people, so the idea of doing the MC work is always cool, and I enjoy it. And some of the people, a part of the mill, have been wondering if I'm ever going to get back up on stage, which I do at other events, of course. But they were wondering if I could ever do it because the last time I did something for one of our Parafests, I did flute stuff, and so I was just playing music as kind of a filler and just something that people if they were eating lunch or whatnot and didn't really have anything else going on. So that was kind of the cool aspect of it is just being able to have some fun. And so I've done that. And then but they were wondering if I would ever do a presentation myself. And so why not? So they kind of threw my name in there, so I'm going to be one of the presenters. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do because I'll probably have to figure something out. I'll have to come up with a good topic. I do a lot of these shows, so who knows, maybe I'll steal something from one of these one time and be able to throw that out there for you guys. So come hang out with us. It's always a lot of fun. Plus, it really supports the old mill. And again, I stress that a lot. A lot of us, that anytime we can support a location, help with funding and stuff like that to keep the doors open and keep the events happening for years to come. That's important to us, and a lot of us investigators and stuff are, huge into history. And so, again, any way to keep the doors open and keep having a location available to us all, regardless if, you're into the paranormal or not, it's just having the location available to the public, even from a history standpoint. So I'm excited. I'm grateful, that again, we don't try to put ourselves necessarily up front to do that type of thing and speak, but so it is kind of cool and humbling that, a lot of the old mill staff and the board, kind of wanted to see me up there. So that's, I'm appreciative of that they heard me speak before. And when I did autographs at the old mill, and they wanted to see another one. So it's pretty cool. It's a really cool feeling to have. So that's cool. So that's coming up, and then obviously there's some other ones. I'm trying to remember. There's I can't remember the date, so shame on me for that. I know I'm doing another uh, group, uh, kind of a it's a well it's kind of a mini fair slash gallery reading slash ghost hunt, and that's at the Dearborn Museum. And I guess if I look really fast on the calendar to see when it was, I think it's October 8th. Uh, Weird Weekends, who's does a lot of my speaking bookings and stuff. They're doing another event at the Dearborn Museum in Dearborn, Michigan. So that's on October 8th. So if you go to the Weird Weekends website, if you want to hang out with us again, it will, there'll be a few of us, doing readings. We're going to do some gallery stuff, and then we'll have a ghost hunt. And it is cool. I mean, it's a great place. And plus it's right next to, it's like super, it's in the area where I work, my day job. So so it's pretty cool. I get, I haven't seen it in a few months because I'm not over in that part of the town, but I am close. I'm only within a couple miles of where my current building is to where the Dearborn Museum is. So, but if that's interesting you in October, again, that's kind of the Halloween season. So that's kind of cool coming up. So, hey, if you think about it, October 8th, go to the Weird Weekends website, and you can get some tickets for that and hang out and get a personal readings, be a part of the gallery reading. And then if you want to stick around for a ghost hunt, there's that too. So I think that covers most of the events that I'm associated. Not that there's not a ton more out there, and there is. I'm still doing other gallery readings. We had a couple more books, that are available, and so there's a few of those that are coming up in the Toledo area. So that's kind of cool. And yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm trying to think of where else I'm gonna need to go before we really start diving into some stuff. Anything else I can think of? Yeah, there isn't. So yeah, Dad, I'm sure you would make a great MC. So there you go. There's my eyes. So you can see I'm still okay. But yeah, so like I said, I'm going to talk about, some of the things that went on this week. And well, actually, I remembered one more thing before we dive in. I don't know if you guys, if Rachel's still watching. I know she did again for the second morning in the row, but yesterday I caught it, and I did not get a chance to download it like I thought. But if you guys caught any of the alignments of 7 with the addition of our moon, which I'm counting 8, all in a cool alignment over the morning sky. It's a pretty rare event, and the next time is not until 2040 that this will happen again, when these planets all align. Now, I when I realized that, I was already starting to drive to work, so I was barely a few minutes on the expressway. So I was like, "Oh man," But I tried to take photos, which is very difficult to take screenshots while driving, because I was taking screenshots that way you can see the actual planets in a digital format on top of the background with the actual sky. So I use an app called Skyview, and it's really cool because you can point your phone in any direction, and that stuff, you'll see what it is, and then you could look around the phone and actually see the star or see the moon or whatnot. And so it was really, really cool to capture it even while driving. Hey, good morning, Bonnie. And so what I wanted to do is just show you what I captured. Now I'm going to show you the ones that I took once I finally got to work, which is when the sun was over the horizon already, and it was blocking out a majority of the planets. Now I did see quite a few of them with the naked eye while I was driving, so I was able to look over and see almost all of them. But I wanted to show you just because, like I said, I didn't get a chance to download it. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like with the app going on in the background. So you're going to see the parking lot in my building and half of the building that I work at. And I'm going to do this holding up to the camera, so it's going to be annoying, but just to give you guys an idea. But what I'm going to do is I'm starting at the lowest planet, which was Mercury, and then I'm going to, keep moving up. And I actually point the phone and target each one so you can say it. Hey, good morning, Chad. So there's Mercury, which is right there. I got to remember to go opposite. And again, that's and the pattern you see too is constellations. So that's the other cool thing. And then, wrong way. And then up to the next planet, you got Venus. And then I'm not going to say it because I want to get, I don't want to get in trouble. And then obviously, the moon's next to that. Oop, I got out of order somehow. Stop it. What is happening? How did I get out of order? It did get out of order. And then there was Mars, Jupiter, Neptune, and then the one that was out a little bit further was Saturn. So that was kind of cool. Like I said, that was neat to kind of see that. And I did capture some of them when it was darker. And it was just not easy to take them all because I'm driving and trying. Yeah, it was not good. After a while, I realized I'm probably going to get myself in trouble and get in a car accident. And that was what I didn't want to happen. But today was, I think, the last time that they were going to be in such a cool arc alignment. I mean, it kind of arcs a little bit, but it's just neat to see them all in alignment. And then, like I said, when you look at it with your own eyes, you can actually pinpoint most of them, especially before the sun came up. So that was kind of cool. So if you missed it, you're going to have to wait a few years for the next one. Yeah, see, there's Rachel. Yeah, I know. I know. You better get some, Rachel. We have important things going on today, so you better get a nap in. You better. But yeah, so that was cool. And like I said, it was neat to be able to see that, and and it's pretty rare to get that many in a row. So like I said, it was 7, and then I counted our moon 8 in there. So I mean, just still very cool. Okay, but all right. So like I was saying, when I disappeared Monday, I think it was. See, I'm already forgetting, or Tuesday, whatever it was. No, Tuesday. It was Tuesday morning. There was, like I said, there's things I obviously I can't say. There's things I can say. I'm going to definitely share the things I can say, because other things, are still, being worked out and things of that sort. But, and they're pretty significant. So even then, it's not good to always talk about some of that. But, I was able to deal with some of it, which helped ease things, which again, that was the part of moving forward. But there were so many other things that were happening at the exact same time. It was like, it was a bad week. It really ended up being a bad week, even with me finally feeling like I was climbing back out of a hole, or at least attempting to. I think I still am, but that's always a difference of opinion. But yeah, I mean, so many things, fell on top of me, and I got overwhelmed. And it was the classic, there's so many different avenues of which way you can go when you deal with a lot, whether you kind of shut down and disappear, you just find things to do. I mean, there's so many different ways that people go about it when they are overwhelmed with things. And I shut down to the point of where I needed to think about things, and because I knew there were some aspects that I could resolve, and it was figuring out the best way to do that, and I just needed the time to do that. And I didn't want to throw it out there to everybody because I didn't want everybody commenting. And not that I wouldn't have appreciated it. I just wanted to truly focus on it, which is fine. And we can all do that, and it's, I think if I would have worded that final post Tuesday morning differently, I could imagine, what everybody would have been thinking. And, a couple people knew it was serious, but at the same time, they did, understand not to bug me. But it was kind of interesting, to go several days without talking to anybody other than, family, and then, work people, and it was, yeah, it was something, never fun to go through things like that. And it's hard doing the things that I do, being a psychic medium and being sensitive as far as, understanding the energies. And I guess I should say not so much sensitive, but the, being empathic, you really, it's a lot different. And, I could, I might exterior look pretty tough, and I am at times, at least I think so. But to, uh, deal with a lot of different things, it's rough. Hey, good morning, Debbie. And so, yeah, it was hard figuring things out, but at the same time I did. And but the thing that killed me was is even once I figured things out, like Tuesday was more of that kind of down day where I was just kind of reflecting on it, which was true, which is what I said I was doing, some personal reflection. But then Wednesday was figuring out the solutions, coming up with the solutions, and then but that's when it started to shift even more. Good morning, Kelly. And I started dealing with a lot more, and it started being more painful physically. And then Thursday, uh, it was so bad that I finally was like, I probably need to start, slowly reaching out to people and uh, see if that's a good distraction for me. And even then, fixing a couple things helped, so I definitely have more life back in me. That's one way to look at it, and I do have a photo of me, which I'm not going to show you guys, but I do have a photo of me that shows Thursday morning how bad I was, and which was why I was going to, hey, Heather, which is why I was going to wear the Men in Black shades, because I was going to record the show Thursday night and hide that look because it was not a good look. Uh, and it was bad. I mean, it was truly horrible of me. And, uh, you know, it's a part of life. You got to deal with things. And sometimes it's bad. Sometimes you really got to get to the bottom to work your way back out. And so there was a lot of things going on Thursday, but crazy enough. So one of the things one thing I was going to share that was horrible the whole time is, so most of you have heard me talk about it, and it's, no big deal for me, other than like this week was probably the craziest of all. So most people know I deal with kidney stones. It's a chronic thing of myself, or for myself, and I've been dealing with them since the late 90s. And though at first, it was easy to pinpoint what the issues were. And then over the last, 10 years or so, 10 plus years, 10, 15 years, the nobody, because I've been to several doctors, so it's not like I'm, you know, uh, dead set on one, because one, my first doctor, ended up retiring because he was getting up there. And then the second one was a brief one in between until I found my current one. And it's bad is ever since I went to the second doctor and then my current doctor, it was the all my levels that would prove how or why I'm having these stones are completely for any normal person. And they're, typically most kidney stones are calcium based, and then there's also ones that are citric based. And my levels are exactly where they need to be for a normal person to not have them. And unfortunately, I have them very, very often. And to me, for years now, it's easy. And it's weird to say that because I know what it's like for a lot of people, because in the beginning it wasn't. Now it's just like a normal day for me. And like I said, I know I know how bad it is. And I can honestly say this week, starting Tuesday afternoon, even through today, I'm not gonna make I'm I can only give you an estimate, but I can actually, just judging by the average, can truly say at the minimum of how many stones I've had this week, at least 100. And that's not a joke. That is not a joke, because when you see the amount that you can visually see, some of them being over 20 in one time, it doesn't take much to figure out the numbers, or at least get pretty close to it. So I would not joke about it. It's crazy to think of, but I realized that it's definitely stress related, because there's no way I should have that many in a single week. Even a handful is pretty hard, pretty extreme. Typically, I can have a couple a month, no problem. But to see what I've seen this week, man, that would have destroyed a lot of people to have that kind of amount. And then I'm like I said, it's not even a that's not more than likely I'm even higher than that, but it was just that bad. I mean, like I said, Wednesday, I think that's all I did every time I used the facility. There was something, whether it was a few or to a lot. So, and like I said, sometimes just one time going, it was a huge number. And yeah, so that was fun. Uh, I don't think I've ever had that many in a single week. Like I said, sometimes when you have kidney stones and they get stuck, you have to get what's called a lithotripsy, and they blast them, and then you have basically like, exploding, like taking like a bread and just breaking it down into crumbles, and you kind of have that explosion of items. So that's what happens like in a lithotripsy. They blast the stone so it can pass through. And unfortunately, like for me, that's all it was just what I like to call gravel. It, or sandblasting, so yeah. Um, you know, but that's just something I'm used to. I have a very minor pain because I'm just so used to it. I usually feel it like in the kidneys the day before, like there's something bouncing around, so it's about ready to work its way through. And then sometimes the next day, then I eventually see the end result. So I did have back pain, and then next thing I know, it was just going for days. So, but so that was definitely one that snuck in there on me. I also wasn't sleeping well because of various things, very typical. And I'm missing a lot of you guys writing about stuff, so I will go back here in a little bit and read about it. Because I know you got a couple of you like Peg and Chad and stuff. So I will read your comments here in a minute. So sleep has been horrible. I know, like Tuesday to Monday into Tuesday was probably the worst of the sleep, where I may have had like a total of 3 hours of sleep. And you got to remember, I'm trying to go to bed and be asleep right around 9:30. My alarm is typically set for 3:30. So you can do the math and see that if you're only barely getting 3 hours, that's not a whole lot of sleep. And considering I have to drive by myself still, uh, you know, leaving at 4:30 in the morning to drive an hour and 10 minutes to work, it's not as bad, but it's not good in the morning. The worst part is me coming home in the afternoon. So when I get off at 3 o'clock and driving home, that's the most time that I'm dozing off, which sucks. So, and I'm trying to avoid, hitting caffeine and stuff like that. I mean, I have a couple cups of coffee in the morning just to get, my morning going, but I try not to do anything in the afternoon to not be kind of hooked on certain things. Even like when it's really bad. So I mean, I try other various things, things that are not harmful to me. So yeah, the sleep's been getting slowly and slowly better. Because even last night, I mean, I didn't go to bed until like 11:30, 11:45, somewhere in that ballpark. But even though it was me staying up, I pretty much got out of bed at like almost 6:30 in the morning, so it wasn't too horrible. But it was kind of cool to sleep past my typical alarm and not be like wondering why am I not up. Yeah, I wish, Dad. I wish I did have autopilot, because that would do wonders for me. And I guess before I jump out of the sleep stuff, I want to see Peg saying, kidney stones are horrible. I sincerely hope you're dying. Well, Peg, and that's the thing is, Uh, my doctor is actually stated, he goes, because I asked him, I said, do we need to do, more tests and things like that? He goes, when the last time he did it, which was, a couple of years ago, but when we looked at it, it was, uh, like I said, when he did all the blood work, everything was exactly where it should be. And he clearly stated, because I'm in a doctor's office that's specific to that area, anything to do with the lower extremes of things, and stuff. But he clearly said, he goes, every one of us in this office, every one of us doctors has a patient like you, that no matter what we do, no matter what we test, we truly can't find the root cause, from obviously a science base. uh all the levels that would promote stone growth are normal. So it's it's pretty crazy to think that I get to be a little abnormal for a change, and well, or all the time, whoever you want, depending on your opinion of me. But it's pretty fascinating to think that, there's others like me that just produce it for no apparent reason. Now, I'm thinking, because of the amount that I did have this week, you know, I think it just really proves that stress is a definite factor. Obviously you can't say 100% from a science backing, but I'm not eating things to the levels of where uh I'm eating or consuming things that would even elevate my levels from a calcium or citric area to cause it. And even more so than than some of the recent years. I mean, I've been dieting, so I'm losing weight, and knowing exactly pinpoint what I'm putting in my body right now, truly, there is not enough of those things that could even begin to make even a slim chance of a stone forming. So I uh there's some other things I'm thinking about, to try to work those through and try to get that off my back, but there's some possibilities down the road that there's a good chance I might be able to at least ease them up to where it's not so many in a single year. So we'll see. We'll see about that. So that's what the whole thing about the stones are and stuff. And I just want to see real quickly. Oh, hey Chad, if you're still watching, buddy, a lot of prayers and blessings. I know I see you're laying your mother-in-law to rest today. So um, thoughts and prayers to you, and so hopefully that everything will be okay. Um, so yeah, so hang in there, Chad. Um, Cassie, ouch, yeah, kidney stones, yeah. Yeah, see, that's Cassie, that's typical for a lot of people that don't have them that often, or when they do have them, the what you're saying, what you're doing, yep, yep. That is very, very typical. The upset stomach, because it just, it's a different type of pain. The letting loose, absolutely. I get that. I get that. I don't get see for me, I don't think I've ever thrown up because of kidney stones. Close, but it's never. But now it's literally, I most of the time, if you guys have ever been around me in person and stuff like that, you would never know that I'm battling. I'm like, even that moment that I could, hey, I'm going to go use the restroom, and then I'm firing off a bunch of stones and come back, and it's you guys wouldn't know the difference because it's just normal to me. It's which is weird, but it is. Most people have no clue that I'm dealing with them, like when we're hanging out. So Chad, let's see, that's cool, buddy. Yeah, I'll look into that. I said finding some things. I mean, I even found a drink mix that doesn't have sugar in it, doesn't technically have caffeine in it. Hey, Kristen, and it's one of the better ones for you because it is more on that natural side. And I have done that, and I haven't done it this year yet. I mean, I have tubs of the stuff, and I just been lazy in some aspect of not getting it and taking it with me to use just on the drive home, just so that way I can get home better, because it doesn't have a crazy, sharp, wake you up. It's a gradual up and it's a gradual down. So that's what's really neat about it. There's not that drop, that you would get after having caffeine and things. Yeah, Dad. Yeah, I know. We remember your experiences. you know. So and even then I mentioned about the weight loss stuff. I don't I mean I've shared it. I obviously don't get detailed about it because obviously not a lot of people, it's not a big deal for them. And obviously for me, the whole aspect of losing weight is it's because I'm getting older, I'm not no spring chicken, as I say quite a bit. And I'm trying to get to the point where, my health is a little bit more in order. Being in my mid 40s, I don't want to I don't want to, I let myself go enough. And so, even my blood pressure has been bad, and it really is at a point where should be on something, but I want to avoid that. That's just me personally. Not that I'm trying to avoid the situation. I want to do what I can naturally to avoid it. And so weight loss was a big thing for me this year. And so I've started in February. It has, Dad, probably has, but I made that choice to start losing weight. I, doing a couple different things. Um, my timing is horrible because of the fact of being up so early and then trying to get to bed at a decent hour. So I can't do like traditional workouts and things. So in between work, I do a lot of walking at work. One, because the building I'm in is gigantic. So I can do a lot of walking. Plus, even if I have to stop walking, I can go and fix issues with some of the equipment, in conference rooms that I deal with. And so it's neat is that I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone. So I can walk, check on rooms, and still, get a couple things done. So it's kind of cool to have that opportunity. So I walk quite a bit. And if you guys were to see some of my numbers as far as how many steps I've walked this week, I don't even know if I can do it for you guys live just to give you a let me see. So yeah, I can. Just to give you guys an idea of how much walking I do. And that's as of right now, just with barely doing anything. So as of because it starts on Monday. So as of today, this morning, I've done 92,795 steps, equaling 47, just over 47 miles of distance. So and I could go a lot, deeper than that, but just other specific numbers. But just to give you an idea, that's telling you how much walking I'm now doing to try to, burn off this stuff so that way I can get my heart rate down. And because the last time I lost a lot of weight, I felt a lot better. My heart was in better shape. And so, yeah, 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 it is, Kristen. That's if your mind is not there for weight loss or whatever you want to do or go out and achieve, if your mind is not there, it's just a battle and you won't see the difference. And interesting enough is that uh part of the issue the last couple of weeks is I haven't seen very much loss at all. And finally, this Monday, which I weigh in on Mondays, I finally had for the first time in over 2 weeks a half a pound. And it really bothered me. Not that I wasn't appreciative, I finally saw a drop, but I've had weeks where because I'm walking so much and I'm burning so many calories that I'm not even breaking enough of what I am intaking. So I'm not completely starving myself, which I know that would be a thing out there, but because I am eating, uh, I'm just burning stuff off so much that there's just not a whole lot there. And I'm not going to sit there and stuff myself for no reason because that's not going to be good either. But I've been so determined in trying to get this done, and I'm in that range where I'm still about 10 to 15 more pounds of where I want to be, and I have a good gap of where I want to end up with. But I because I was getting frustrated, so that's been again another factor of not seeing it, and then even then Monday just seeing only finally a half a pound just was like, you got to be kidding me. After everything I do, after all the moving and the steps and trying to eat better and watch myself, and then you're not seeing the results, it weighs on you and it definitely messes with your mind. And even though it never stopped me, I still kept doing it. It's like, you have weeks where you don't lose much, or sometimes you're losing inches, which technically that has been the case over the last several weeks. I've lost a lot of inches, which is really cool. And I think the best one is watching how the fact that my pants aren't fitting anymore, because literally the pants I was wearing, um if I don't even have to unbutton or unzip anything, they just fall right off. So that tells you anything, that losing I'm losing, inches. That's a great thing. So it's fun to just stand there with my pants and whoop, um but the cool thing is, even when doing that, I've now been able to go down a pant size and finally, have pants that that now look better on me and not as gigantic and baggy, and I'm not stuffed in them. So yeah. Oh, that's a good suggestion, Debbie. You never thought of that. That's a good idea. I do chew gum. That's one of my new ones right now, is just chewing gum a lot. Um, and then let's see, what is Jen saying? Remember that your weight naturally fluctuates. Right. And it does. And see, here's the thing is, now I mentioned at the beginning of the show when I was wearing my shades that I, not hungover. And I said I haven't had a drink in a while. Uh, I don't mind, a little drinking. No, I'm not getting to the point where I'm, tipsy or drunk. I don't do that very often, but I like to have a couple drinks. One just kind of relaxes me a little bit, which, it's known to do. Is it good for you? No, I know that. And I wanted to find out, if I cut that out completely, how is it going to affect me when I get to weigh in? And I know Jen knows about this because I was telling her about it yesterday, I think it was, and she made a great point about it. Uh, I do so. Typically, what happens is, with the weight on Friday morning, I do a spot check. I just want to see what the week has done from Monday to Friday, and what's the weekend going to entail. Do I need to try to push a little bit more? Am I okay to continue what I'm doing, or do I have to just chill out? So I jumped on the scale yesterday, and again, Monday was the last time I had a drop of alcohol, and I noticed a dramatic drop. To me, it's a dramatic drop from where it's been, but I see multiple pounds of weight loss just in barely 5 days. And so I realized that maybe maybe I shouldn't be drinking as often as I should be, for multiple reasons. So so I'm now encouraged to go the rest of the weekend without a drop. And so I'll be excited to jump on the scale Monday morning to see if I kept the same amount of weight that I did yesterday morning, or will I go even further, Monday morning. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen without doing that. And then when I realize is, if that's the case, then obviously I know what my problem was the last several weeks. Not that I'm saying I was overly doing it. It was the fact that my body's gotten to a point where it's just not, it can't win over what I was doing. So even though I wasn't eating a lot, and we do know that alcohol has calories in it, it the system wasn't working the way it was should be, and so I was doing more harm to myself and retaining the water and stuff inside of me, so it wasn't burning off like it should be, because I'm definitely feeding the fire. It's just not happening. So let's see, Jill, sugar-free candy gum used to contain sort of, which would take an excess of cause stomach distress. Not sure if it still does. That's kind of cool. Yep, Dad. Yep. Don't. Well, but even then, that's the whole thing, is the goal is just overall health. Like I said, with when I was at my urologist in January, they were freaking out over my blood pressure, and it was not good. And even some people have the white coat syndrome. When you walk into a doctor's office, your heart just races anyway. But it was bad. It was really, really bad. And that was like, you got to get on a pill like that moment. So that's why I knew I was going to be getting that stuff. So I haven't checked my blood pressure yet. I have one of those cuffed ones around here just to give me a basis, and I just haven't found it yet. It's somehow missing. And so maybe for a reason, because I'm just going to keep focusing on it and not think about it. But I know for a fact I definitely feel a lot better. It doesn't feel like things are beating as hard as they are. And so there's definitely progress anyway. So yeah, the weight thing has definitely been huge. And like I said, you know, it's amazing how, because I know we're getting close to the end, and uh, you know, try to always have positive things. And again, the you find those moments that are good, and you work through them, even if they're difficult to work through. And it's just kind of where I've been doing, you know, I had my time this week, and granted, it's not like I was still truly living under a rock. I was really pushing to get back out. It, just took me till finally Thursday, when it was probably the worst that it's been, to realize I've got to just reach up and start pulling myself back out. And that's what I ended up doing. And so, like I said, I've worked on a few things, and I'm tried a few things. Unfortunately, it took days to finally, see results. Like even with the kidney stone stuff is starting to diminish off, because obviously the stress isn't there, which is where I believe it's coming from. The weight loss stuff, because I've cut that, the alcohol stuff up. So that's showing, me some stuff. So it's just taken some time. And that's why I, just couldn't, I had to start doing something different. And even then, I was already starting to debate, if I didn't see much going into Friday, just giving an idea, I was going to have to figure out a whole nother, consumption of food. Oh, well, thanks, Kristen. Yeah, I said we all go through we all have our moments, we all have situations and things, and you know, there's still some more bigger things I've got to get through, and we'll have success in it. I guess that's a good way to put it. And there will be um some better days ahead. And not that, everything's horrible. I've definitely, like I said, I'm climbing back out of this week. And that's why the whole point of the episode of being rock bottom is that it can happen to anybody, and you might not know when it's going to happen. You know you're overwhelmed with things, but you're handling it as best you can. And then the next thing you know, it's just like you literally fell over an edge. And that's pretty much what happened. I was already near the edge, and it just took a couple more things, and then that's it. I was over the edge falling. And it took until pretty much Thursday to realize I hit the bottom. And now I got to figure out a way to get back out. And so um it's always a moral of the story. It's the reason why I do these. This is why I post about things, is to try to, you know, show you that it happens, and if you're going through something, you know, it's finding little things that you can do to just start making that attempt to get back up, get on your feet, climb out of that hole, or, however you want to label it as for yourself. You you've got the tools to do it, because it's your head is what's gonna make the difference, and if they're gonna sit there and try to just stay down, it's just going to be that much more longer. And you know for me, like I said, I knew it was I needed to do something, and it's there because obviously I tell you guys that stuff all the time, and I'm not the only one that tells you guys these things. And there's so many, great motivational speakers out there that do that. And sometimes it's just, you kind of need to hear it from somebody, and then you boom, you do it, and so that'd be cool, Kristen. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been up that far in a while. I mean, I'm gonna be up kind of in the I don't know how close you are, but I'm gonna be in a couple weeks. I'm gonna be up over near Standish, Michigan. So I don't know how far that's closer to the lake, but I don't know how far away that is from you. Um, but yeah, and like I said, I probably wouldn't look like this, even though it's morning, and obviously I've been up forever. I mean, I've been up since 20, and I um, but yeah, I mean, I just have been, it's been a couple days, of doing it. And I probably wouldn't have been smiling if I would have recorded the show Thursday night at all. I don't think I would have. I don't think I would have joked as much. I don't think I would have had fun with the definite, meanings with the sunglasses that I started with, But yeah, it's kind of wild. It is a wild ride, and it's interesting to be in, the metaphysical and holistic world, and to experience the things, and even then to you know just deal and figure out how to get through stuff is unique sometimes. And I don't think I would have ever envisioned this, as a kid growing up or even in high school. I mean, it's, you know, you think about family, you think about work, and you do a fun, some fun stuff, and it's crazy how your path can finally show up, and you don't realize it, and then that's a whole nother things that you never even considered, that go on. So I wouldn't trade any of it. You know what I mean? A lot of times you go through these difficult situations because you're going to learn something on the end. You're going to become a better person at the when it's over, when you get through it. And that's how I look at it. And I've done a lot better job at it in some aspects. Obviously it's still difficult when you are in the middle of them or when it happens. But again, you're fighting through it. You're looking for how to fix it or resolve it, whatever the case is. And so yeah, who wouldn't, Dad? Who wouldn't trade that out? I mean, granted, at least that it's not as horrible, but I mean, at the same time, I'm trying to, I as long as they don't get, as long as I don't have any other issues with them, if they just keep doing their thing and passing through, fine. But you know, I think we'll see some things maybe change in the future. See, Jennifer, interesting. Magnesium helps both lower blood pressure and minimize Hey, that's I have to double check to see if some of the stuff I am taking has those in there. Or it has magnesium in it. I will look. I will double check. Um, but yeah. So like I said, like I said, I share these things because obviously, hey, Rhonda, uh, because it can be important. Because like I said, a lot of you might be going through it, and even then, you might not tell anybody about it. You might be secretly dealing with stuff, and there's different levels to how we handle stuff, and sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's pretty bad. And I've been in some bad, moments. And you want at least 400 milligrams of magnesium. Okay, gotcha, Jen. Thank you. Um, and that's the thing is, there's a lot of things out there, and a lot of people talk about mental awareness, and obviously, if it's bad, reach out to people. And I've always said that too. You know, take your one day, get up the next day, and start figuring things out. Whether you keep your mind occupied or distracted, or make the decision to go talk to somebody, whether it's just a friend or whether you got to go see like a counselor. uh you know there's no harm in it, there's no shame in it. you know it's better to do that, because even if you just do a couple times just to talk it out with somebody makes a huge difference. And so I know a lot of you guys know Dustin Perry, and he's always done a lot of charity work, and I can never remember the whole title of it, but he works with a suicide prevention foundation and stuff. So, even if people were to go, they get to those levels, and they might not be talking about it publicly because sometimes, they just are afraid to. But if you're in that kind of mindset sometimes, or a lot, you know, you don't stick with it. You know what I mean? Don't let it sit inside of you. You'd be amazed that even just going to somebody you don't know and chatting about it and getting that off, your chest, so to speak, and them giving you tools of how to handle the stresses and the situations that you might be going through. So, um, you know, don't be afraid to reach out to anybody. And like I said, I'm busy, but I certainly will make time for anybody that needs to talk about something. You know what I mean? Um, I do listen. I can talk for a whole hour, but I can also listen for a whole hour too. So uh, I do love to hear and just see what's going on and stuff. So yeah, I can do both. I used to only be able to listen, but now I figured out how to talk a little bit more, which you guys clearly see every Saturday. So, but so yeah, so like I said, that was just kind of the week, and I said it wasn't really obviously you know a thing, but sometimes I realized this was sort of more of a therapy session for me, just to talk about some of it, that I can talk about, and just show you what things that do happen to me, sometimes weekly. And it's never a dull moment, and I do appreciate the moments that are good. And I've You just you try to live for those good moments, even if they're short. And then, at least it gets you distracted enough to where you can finally move on or continue to climb out of wherever you are. So, uh, so hopefully it helps some people, and again, just to kind of understand a little bit more of where I was this week and why it wasn't so much of a break, more of just the time for me to figure some more things out, and then start, uh, making some choices and decisions, and talk about some stuff, and then get out of here. So, thanks, Tim. You do the same, buddy. And so, yeah, so I'm gonna get out of here because it's 10:31. I'm gonna go about my day. I'm gonna be hanging out with a couple people today, so I'm pretty really excited about just getting out of the house for a little bit and hanging out, and so that'll be kind of cool later this afternoon and evening. And yeah, so hopefully you guys have a great weekend and a great week next week. I'm gonna do my best to start posting again. Hey, Denise. So I'm gonna do my best to start posting again. Heather, have a great day. And um, because of this week, I wasn't able to plan anything out. So who knows? Maybe I'll throw a pop-up next week, unexpected. So uh, I may not go ahead and announce it. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna see how the week looks. And then if I feel pretty good, maybe I'll do a pop-up show during the week. And maybe we'll have some fun in an evening. Like I said, it'll be during the week, but maybe we'll have some fun in the evening this coming week. I'm gonna try for it. And I say try as my bad word, but I'm throwing it out there just in case some other things get in the way, um, because I have to deal with them. But if not, that's why I'm going to use my bad word try and say that not putting an excuse that it's not going to happen, but just, I want to make sure other things are handled before I do this. So, but I'm going to shoot for it anyway. Yes, Kristen, I definitely need to see you soon. And I can't wait to see you. Like, the whole point. But yeah, so all right, guys, well, I'm gonna get out of here. So again, enjoy your day. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for hanging in there and listening to me. And we will we'll do it again next week, because then I think next weekend will be the last week, because that's kind of 4th of July weekend, and the weekend after that I'm probably gonna have to record that show, because I will be at the Wild Wind Sanctuary all day on that Saturday. So I will not have a live show, so I'm gonna try to come up with one to record, and definitely do it within an hour, so that way it'll actually show up live on Saturday while I'm at the event. So again, thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for listening. And I will see you guys again very soon. So, you guys have been watching the Mid-Morning Medium Chat with Adam the Black Swamp Medium. Have a great day. Have a great weekend and a great week. And I will see you again soon. All my love, light, and peace to each and every single one of you. Bye.